Hi guys, this is Sophie. Welcome back to Real Talk with Soph. Today I have on a super exciting guest. This is my girl Courtney, or more known as Courtney Photo and Film. I love you, and I just love you. I love your work. I love everything. And I'm
Oh,
really excited for you to be here chatting with me today.
yeah.
I thought that we could start with your little origin story, how you got started. For anybody who doesn't know you, just kind of a introduction of who you are, what you do, just all the fun things. So,
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for having me. I'm
of
so excited to be on your
course,
podcast.
I know
Um,
my first guest.
I okay, I let me think where to start. Okay, I grew up Mormon, so
Oh,
I
wow,
went yeah, I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did
Maybe
not know that. Oh my
okay, well,
gosh, I didn't know that. Yeah, we're starting off strong.
yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So I grew up Mormon and I went to BYU, Brigham Young University. So I did a semester out in Idaho at the Rexburg, Idaho campus. And I was kind of thrown into college, didn't know what I wanted to do, as a lot of college students don't really know
Yep,
what they want to do.
absolutely.
And I was like, you know what? I've always loved cameras. Like even growing up, my dad always had a camera with our sports. He would like always bring it for volleyball, soccer. He
Yep,
would take pictures everywhere. So
totally.
I would always like take his camera and like film little like YouTube. I remember like doing a little haul on my YouTube channel of like Bath and Body Works
Yes,
hand sanitizers. Oh, if I find that video, I'll have to post
absolutely.
it. Oh my god! But
I'm gonna have to see that one. I'm gonna have to
I know
see
I
it.
like put it deep in the archives, but I'll pull it out just for you. Um, so icky. But anyway, I just like always picked up his camera and was just filming everything. Filming, I wasn't really taking a lot of pictures. I just loved video.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe like when I go to, BYU, I can do film. I'll study film. So that's kind of what I did. I studied communications and I did like film, graphic design. I kind of learned all of that for a semester.
Yep.
Um, absolutely hated it. It's such a, like a small town. I don't know. It's just Mormons do a lot. They do a lot, which is great. Like they know how to be crafty with not having
Mhm.
anything. Like if you give them a
Yeah.
field, they'll make a mansion out of it. I don't know how. They
Totally.
find out everything to do. So I was never bored, but
Yeah.
I was doing long distance with my now husband Tanner, and we were dating at that time. And that was hard because Mormons want to date. They want to date. They want to marry fast. They want to date fast. So I was constantly having to be like, okay, like I can't go with you on this like triple date because it was just like everything
Yeah.
revolved around dates. And so
Yeah.
that was a big thing for me. So I was like, okay, I hate this. I really want to go home. So I convinced my mom to let me go home. She told me she was like, you should really do 2 semesters, give it your best shot. And I'm like, I know, but like, I just
But like
don't like, I
no.
don't love
But
it.
like
Yeah. Don't love
I'm
it.
not
Don't love it.
doing
She's
this.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So she's like, okay, like, so I came home. They saw how happy I was to be home with Tanner and just like how relieved I was.
I
But
bet.
yeah, but I was working at Belk at the department store for
Yep.
this period of time from when I
Mhm.
got home from college to COVID because it was like 2019 going into 2020. So I was like thinking of like things I could do, and I was like, okay, well, I love anything beauty, so maybe
Mhm.
let me do like cosmetology school and like do hair. So I was really looking at that route. I actually looked at a few schools to go into that, and in the meantime, I had these friends who were always like, wait, you like learned video in like college, like why don't you just like we go out in the middle of the field and like take some cute videos and just like I don't know do something. And I'm
Yeah,
like, okay.
absolutely.
So we started doing that for a while, and after a short term, they were like, "Why don't you take some pictures of us too?" And I was like, "Ew, like I don't like pictures. Like I think it's so." I don't know. I remember looking at photography and was like, "That is so icky." I don't know why. I just like thought video's so cool, photos are out, and I'm like, I don't even know what I was thinking. Um, but then after a while, they convinced me to start taking pictures of them. So we would do videos and
So
pictures.
glad that they did.
Yeah, which you can actually go on my Instagram page, scroll all the way down, and you'll see all like the old stuff that I did from when I
Oh,
first
I'm gonna do a good
a
tried
good
and
deep
true
dive.
stock later.
Yeah,
I'm gonna deep dive into
on
Courtney.
my
I'm
Bath and
going.
Body hand sanitizer haul
Yep.
and when I first started the videos and
I'm
clips.
deep diving into all of it.
Oh, and the editing was atrocious. Like, I just look back and I'm like, "What was I thinking?" Like, I don't know. We thought it ate. We thought it ate. It was just
Oh
not it.
yeah, you always
Yeah.
do. You're always like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever created, and
Yes.
then like years you look back on it and you're like,
And it
what
sucks.
what
It
were we
sucks
thinking?
so
What
bad.
were we thinking?
So,
Somebody told us this was good, and they were horribly wrong.
like, maybe they were just lying. I don't know. But I would take pictures of my
Possibly.
best friend and her now husband all the time, and like we loved those pictures. We thought they were so good. Now they're like bright orange. Like, you can go look on my page; you'll find them down there. But anyway,
Oh, I'm going.
yeah. So then all of a sudden I started taking pictures of like my friends because I was like, wait, this is kind of easy and fun. It's way easier than videos. And then people started offering me like $30 to do like a little family shoot, and I was like, oh, okay, like, sure.
Yeah.
And it just sprouted from there. Ever since then, it was like picking it up, and I kind of was doing video a little bit here and there, but I mainly have been focusing on photography. And yeah, it's kicked off completely from there. And so now 7 years
Now
later,
we're here.
We're
Now
here.
we're
I have a
here.
full photography business and fully booked, and it's just living my best life. So
You are living your best life as a wedding photographer, truly.
oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank
every
you.
weekend I'm like, I wonder if Courtney has a wedding this weekend, and I'm like
I
looking
know.
at your stories, like
I know. Like,
waiting.
I actually don't do summer weddings anymore. I don't know if I told you that
Really?
either. I don't do
I
summer
didn't know
weddings.
that.
Yeah, because 2 summers ago, my camera overheated mid-ceremony before their kiss. Yeah. So I had to like rush over to Tanner, who was my second shooter, my husband, and grab his camera and like pull it off, and it was just like panicking. Luckily his
Yeah.
Sony's, my Sony's didn't overheat, but my Canon's did. So
Yeah,
ever
I
since
think
then, yeah.
our friend Alex, love Alex.
Love
She
Alex.
told me we love Alex. Alex, shout out if you're listening to this. We love you.
Beauty girl.
She told me that you shot Sony and Canon at the same time, and I thought that was so interesting that you shot
Yeah.
2 different camera brands. Do you
Yes,
still
I
do that, or
I still do that. I still do that. I have never been the type to be like, people are always like, you need to niche down. You need to do the brand that sticks with you. But I'm like, well, I love them both for so many different reasons, and I feel like
Yeah.
they both service me. So I'm like, why would I just pick one? So I definitely feel like Sony is more reliable when it comes to like focus. So anytime there's like a first kiss or proposal, I'm always shooting Sony, never Canon.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Canon I feel like misses focus sometimes with, I don't know,
Oh,
random things.
100%. It's just
Yeah.
like the most important moments. You're like, what do
Yeah.
we? Why
Yeah.
why did you suddenly go to the little fly on the wall?
Yeah,
Like
why is the
when
fly
you've
in
been there the
focus?
whole time.
Why is the fly in focus? We don't know. So
You've been there the whole time. Like we've been doing good until the
Yeah.
moment that matters.
yeah, and it'll happen
It's
right as like they
ridiculous.
propose or right as they
Yep.
kiss. Then the fly flying by gets caught. I'm like, what is going
Yep.
on? So anytime I have something really important, it's always Sony.
Yep.
And it's very sharp. So I do notice that I have to edit more because I'm like always having to edit out more blemishes and like things like that. So that aspect I actually don't love of it. But focusing, it's just so reliable, and I couldn't give that up for Canon. But I do love Canon's colors. I love how like it already just feels like there's a preset added on the pictures when you put them into Lightroom. It just feels so
It's
beautiful.
much easier. I think it's much easier to get, at least I like to say, getting your raws as close to your final product as, as
Correct.
close as possible. I think that's much more achievable in Canons. I've never,
For sure.
I mean, I'm talking like I've shot something else. I haven't. I love Canon.
Yeah,
My parents' cameras were Canons, like tried and true, like
Yep.
the whole time. But I do think personally for me, I have, it's easier for me to get it closer in camera. And then that makes editing so much easier and so much quicker because you've already got those tones down and you're not having to color grade, the crap out of your photo to get,
Absolutely.
those, highlights to be the colors, the actual tone that you want them to be.
Yeah,
I did have a question. Did you ever get an indie filter?
I did. But
Did you like it?
I
No?
haven't used it yet. I haven't used it
You
yet.
need to use it.
But I do have another filter that I found. I lost it a while ago. I found it, and it's like it's not like the Dream filter, but it's like a sand filter. So it's almost like what the pantyhose does whenever we put those over top of our camera.
Yeah.
And I've been using that. I used it on the shoot I just did of my best friend. Did you see it? I posted the behind the scenes of that with we had like the umbrella, the pool. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
We I texted you and I was like, if I was you, I would be like literally gagged right now. I must see those.
No,
I
I'm
must
so
see
excited for
those.
those. But 50% of those, I used the sand filter to make it just vintagey. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to show those. So if you're listening in and you're gonna see those photos,
You
that's what
must
I
see
use.
them. The behind the scenes, I was like, Courtney, we need to recreate and I need to come. I need
No,
to come with because I'm
no,
obsessed.
no,
I was
actually, you can do it.
obsessed.
You
I
can
was
do it. No,
obsessed.
and honestly, this kind of goes back into like your work has inspired me so much to be more
Thank
creative. It
you.
really has. Like
Thanks.
we did a photo shoot with her what, a month ago, a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it
Month
was
ago.
like in April. It was like in April,
Oh,
yeah.
a couple months ago.
Was it
Okay.
April?
No,
May?
I don't know.
No, it was April. It was April.
Okay. Okay, a
It
couple
was
months ago.
April.
And
Possibly.
her vision for things is just Sophie. Sophie's vision for things is so she just knows how to put things together, pair colors together, pair backgrounds with your outfits with
You're making me blush.
no, I
Oh
just
my
don't. I really
gosh.
like it is so inspiring. It makes me want to like do creative things like that. And so now I'm like, I feel like I'm going outside my box doing things that aren't just like basic little posed, engagements, which I love so much. But I
There's just something about, for one, making yourself uncomfortable while shooting. I
correct.
do that a lot. I'm like, I hate this, but I'm doing it because I know it's going to do well.
Yes.
Like I
Yes.
know it's going to, the product will be good.
Yes.
And I just also think that there's something, us as photographers, everybody wants the same thing,
Yeah.
essentially. At the end of the day, they want what you've already done. But
Yeah.
when you take that times 45, 50, sessions a year, just regular sessions, it gets so repetitive. And
So repetitive.
while for the couple, it's like, oh my god, we've never had photos this amazing in their life, which we love that, like that's amazing. I love that you love these. For
Yeah.
me, I'm like, it's so repetitive. It's like I just want something new and something different and
Different.
something out
Yes.
of the box. So
Yes.
those repetitive sessions don't feel so big or
No, correct.
feel so like monotonous, where it's
Correct.
like we're just doing the same old all the time. So I
Yes.
really just love getting out of the box and challenging myself, because if I don't challenge myself, I'm not going to grow. And
Yeah.
by doing the same sessions all the time, because you're doing, I would say this probably goes for you for weddings also, like all weddings, probably are fairly similar in the
Yeah.
posing and the prompting and just how the day
All
goes.
similar. Yep.
And it's like after a while, it's like, how many more times can you do the same pose
Correct.
without feeling like you're gonna lose your mind?
No, it's
And
so true. It's so true. No,
maybe
you can
that's
get
just
so burnt
me.
out. No, it's true because when you do the same thing over and over again, like what I do for weddings, it is so
Mhm.
hard to stay creative. Like you feel like you're stuck in a box. You feel like you're not feeding your creativity, which I'm the type of person who I have to do like creative. That's why I'm like, I
Me
also do
too.
like spray tans. I do my nails.
Yes.
I did spoon
Yes.
rings. Like I do so much because I feel like doing the same thing, you get burnt out. It's so easy to get burnt out. And
And it
so
gets to be
when
so unenjoyable also. I
unenjoyable. And that's
mean,
what I don't want for my business. I don't ever want it to get
yeah,
so repetitive to the point where I don't enjoy it anymore. This is my passion. So I want it to be something I can
exactly.
pursue forever.
And
So
you can
when you did your
continue to
shoot
be
with us,
passionate about. Yeah.
correct, correct. And so I just loved the shoot we did with you because I felt like it sparked some extra
So
creativity.
fun. It was so fun.
It was so fun and it was just so cool and different. And it's funny because every shoot that I've done that has like gotten a lot of traction has been creative photo shoots that I come like just want to like have a like I just randomly pick a model for like a model
Yeah.
calls or anything like that. It's always those shoots that do successful because there's no pressure added onto it. And it's just like,
There's no
no.
expectation,
Yes.
because like I think for weddings, if I had to guess, I don't do weddings. But if I had to, I mean, I have done some. That sounds like
Yeah.
I've never done a wedding in my life. I have. Um for weddings, they get, so you have such an expectation from the
Yeah.
client for the type of photos that they want. So I don't feel as if you could feel like you could get creative, because I think you'd worry that you were missing those sort of
Yeah.
basic moments, and it's like
Yeah.
you don't have that creativity. And that's
No.
where having these sessions where you're really spending, I mean, we spent what, months planning
Yeah.
our shoot. I mean, we spent
Yeah.
a long time really deciding it, going back and forth on, even down to like the shoes. I mean, all
Yeah.
of the outfits, like even just like, if you guys want to go see them, They're on both of our pages actually.
Yeah, you should go see
They
them.
are
They're so good.
we did a super fun vintage motorcycle session with a vintage yellow Ducati. And
Yes. Yes, it was unreal, which was
it
so
was
fun to do that
unreal.
because me and my husband have always had motorcycles and we got rid of them last year. So when you brought this idea up, we were like, oh my gosh, it feels so us. It feels so like
Yeah.
vintage and like what we've always wanted, but we just have never done it with anybody. I don't know. Once you came up with
Yeah.
that idea, we were like, wait, this is so sick. We need to do this. So
It was so sick. It really
yeah,
was. And
yeah,
so you guys should go check them out because they're insane.
they're so insane.
And but we spent so much there's so much detail even just down to the color
The color.
the tone of the jacket. Okay, guys,
Yes.
we went back and forth on the tone of a brown jacket. We had
And the
like
boots. Don't
three.
forget his shoes.
Oh my god, the
were a
shoe
whole debacle.
debacle. The shoe debacle of 2026. I mean, because that was
It
the
was
shoe debacle. That
it
was
was
funny.
too much. The shoe debacle was too
It was crazy. And
much.
so we spent a lot of time really going back and forth on everything and making sure that what we wanted was right. Because I'm really a big believer of like, if I'm doing something, I'm going to do it the right way and I'm going to do it
Yeah,
exactly how I want it. And if it's
yeah,
not exactly how I want it, then I don't want to do it because
yeah,
I don't want to look back and be like, oh my God, I really wish they would have worn this. Or I really wish that, we would have just sprung for this outfit instead of this one,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
having the regret about a shoot because no two shoots are different. So you could do a shoot as many times as you want and they're always going to be different. But it's like, could you try to do it again with something different, different
Yeah,
outfit, different vibe, different location? Sure. But like, I don't want to do something so many times where it's like, now I've done a motorcycle shoot 3 times because I haven't been
correct,
happy with how they've come out. I
correct.
mean, so we
Yeah,
really went the extra mile and you know,
yeah.
it was insane.
We had a lot of
They were
options
so
for all the
stunning.
outfits. Yeah,
We
they turned
had
out
all the
so good.
outfits.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
even
where
your posing
something
too, like, you're so good at directing and, like, you
thank
are
you.
so good at being, like, particular in the moment of, like, "Okay, no, this hand doesn't look good," and, like, for me, I feel like sometimes I notice it, sometimes I'm like, "Oh, it looks fine right now," and then in the end, I'm like, "Wait, why did I have their hand like that?" Like, but you're so good at making sure that it's exactly how you want before you even take a picture, and I
I'm
love that,
really
I love that.
particular. I'm
Yes.
really particular. I'm really picky. And it can be
Yeah,
kind of a pain
but
because
it's good.
I'll put a couple in a position and then they're like I'm sorry and I know like you're gonna like hate me, but can we please do a little switcheroony because this just
No.
would look better this way and I know it's
Yeah,
going to. And you
yeah,
don't always I think something that clients don't always not that they don't understand. I just don't even think it's something that they even comprehend. That
yeah,
on top of the shooting, we are thinking and dealing with our cameras and we're
yeah,
watching the light and we're watching just the different angles and we're also having to communicate with them and be personable with them and
correct.
build a relationship with them.
Build a
So
connection.
when you make an itemized list of all the things that we're having to do within a 60-minute shoot, it's like sometimes it can be really hard to notice those details because you're trying to ask them about themselves. You're trying
Yep.
to
There's
make
so many
them feel
variables.
comfortable. There's so
Yep.
many variables. And it can be really difficult to be fully aware of what's in front of you when
Yep.
there's a lot going on in your mind. And so
Correct.
that's why I think I've almost trained my brain. I mean, we know that I could talk to like a brick wall,
Yeah.
like talking, I've got talking all day long, but
Yeah.
making people feel comfortable and making people feel confident in the posing that they're doing is a whole other thing. And I'm not in your brain. So if something feels weird to you, like actually weird, not just like we're doing a photo shoot and this is weird.
Correct.
If you look weird, but you don't want to say anything, it's my job to be like, you totally look uncomfortable. Let's move.
Yeah.
Let's change.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
something different. And I have, I think we're very in our minds. So I have a lot of things that I want to do that I'm like, oh, I think this would really look really good. And then I sit down and they do it. And I'm like,
You're like,
that's not translating.
didn't do it.
That's
That
not,
didn't do it how I thought.
that's, no,
Yeah.
that's not translating accordingly. And I hate that. So we're going to do
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
And so I just think that getting creative really allows that time and that space to
Yep.
kind of learn um also how to pose people without that expectation of
Yeah.
this is something that somebody has taken their hard earned money and this is something they're using for their engagement photos or their pregnancy announcement or their family photos or whatever they're using it for. When you're having something that's for you, yes, your couple gets the photos, but for you, you really have that space to be like, play with the posing and play with the angles. And
Yep.
it's like, once you kind of adapt to that, you can translate those into your other sessions. But without having that space to do so, I don't feel like you can really grow in that like capacity in regular
Correct.
sessions because there's a pressure that's that this has to be right and this has to look good. And so I think
Correct.
creative sessions really give space for that because there's no pressure. You just get to
No.
do, and then it's fun because it's a fun concept. I
Yes.
mean, we had a
Yeah.
lot of fun. We didn't have, I mean, we did it at sunset,
No
so of course
pressure. There's not a lot of
we had
pressure.
like yeah, we had sunset timing. That was like the pressure, but not of like, just there just was it was very nice and open, and you
Yeah.
guys were awesome, and you guys know what to do because you're a photographer, so that really,
Yeah. And
is
even
an
with the
aspect that
sunset, we were
helps.
like able to like work with like the blue hour, and then like when it got really dark, we played around with like dark time photos, which we like
And we
I don't
did
feel like I do often. Like
and
so
we
that
did
was
the
so fun.
flash, and that was
The
fun.
flash. The flash was so sick. Yeah, I think it is really important to find clientele that trust you. Like that is
Mhm.
my biggest thing. Like I want my clients and I want my future clients to trust me, trust my expertise, trust
Absolutely.
my all the hard work I put into, thinking about what pose would look good, thinking about what outfit would look good, thinking about what lighting looks best with their skin tones. Like there's so much that goes into it. And I feel like the minute you get pressure with, if there's like a certain client that just wants things done a certain way, that is totally fine. Like I'll always put my clients first. I'll always do their work.
Absolutely.
But at the
Totally.
same
Yeah.
time, when you have that added pressure on top of wanting to make sure that they get something unique and different, not something that you've seen already. And like there's so many variables, lighting, their outfit, that like it just adds so much pressure when they have an expectation in their head of like, okay,
Mhm.
I need her to do
Yeah.
this. And if I don't get it, like I'll be upset. Like I feel like once they take that expectation away and they're like, I'll trust her, what she says will be good. That's when I'm like, I can create some good stuff because I don't
Yes,
have the pressure.
because you're building a connection that's built on trust.
Yep.
Because not only are you becoming friends with them and getting to know them, particularly for weddings too, but they're trusting you to capture a really intimate part of their life.
Absolutely.
Because sitting in front of somebody and being like, okay, I want you guys to kiss. I want you to rub her face. I want you to tuck her hair behind her ear. Those are intimate moments, intimate
For
gestures.
sure.
And so having some stranger essentially standing there with a camera this close to your face getting a detail shot,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot on the couple, it's a lot on the photographer, and
Yeah.
it's like you want to know that they trust you and they're comfortable with you
Correct.
because there's boundaries and there's also just a level to it where it's like I know that this is not fun. I mean,
Yeah.
in like a general like aspect, like I know that getting photos done is awkward, it's weird, and if you've
Weird,
never had it
uncomfortable sometimes.
if you've never had it done before, you know, it's nerve-wracking. I get a lot
Yeah.
of couples who are super nervous.
Yeah.
I've had guys drink a beer before showing up or
Yes.
take a shot because they just can't, like they're so
Let loose.
nervous. And it's
Yes.
almost like, I find that funny because it's such like for me it's so normal to just be like we're going to run. And there's also a level as a photographer that's like you're also being really silly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to know what I look like
No.
while I'm shooting.
No, I did like a whole meta glasses video and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had to cut out so many things because I'm like, if people saw how I acted to make people feel comfortable, because like that's just how my personality is.
Totally.
I'm goofy and then it just works. Like
Absolutely.
I'm like, people can't see this. People cannot see this. And even like,
People can't see what I look like when I'm doing this. No
no,
way. No.
no. And it's so funny because it's so true. Like connection is so important with your clients to make them feel comfortable, like especially with boudoir. Like that's the main thing I specialize in. I feel
Totally.
like
Yeah.
it took me so long to figure out how to connect with these women to make them feel comfortable. And once I was able to kind of pinpoint, okay, here's what I need to do to make them feel comfortable because this
Yeah.
is so vulnerable for them to come in front of a stranger, half naked essentially.
Yeah.
And for me, it's so important to build a connection so that they don't feel nervous or as nervous. And it's amazing at the end of the shoot what they, how much they open up and how they're like, wow, like you really made me feel comfortable. You really made me feel like not crazy. I think it's
And
important to be
confident too.
silly.
Yeah.
Like it's important to be silly and
Yes.
goofy because then that makes people feel okay with you. Like if you're
Totally.
stern and judgmental or quiet, like it makes people
If
feel
you're
so
not
scared.
confident going
Yes,
into it, like
confident.
if I showed up to a photo shoot, not as a photographer, but as a couple with my boyfriend, and the photographer didn't seem very confident, I wouldn't
Yes,
have confidence in them. So
1,000,000%.
you have to walk with your head held high, even if you're
Correct.
nervous, because we get nervous. I get nervous before every shoot. It doesn't matter how many shoots I've done, how many
Yes,
times I've worked with that couple.
yes.
I get nervous every time. And so it's like, but I'm never going to let a client know that I'm like,
No,
over
nervous.
here feeling like I'm gonna hurl because I'm so
Yeah,
nervous about this shoot. I'm gonna walk in there like I know what I'm doing because I do know what I'm doing because I've spent 5 years perfecting my craft.
correct,
Like
correct.
our minds, and our feelings are at war because it's like,
Yes.
I'm nervous, but I also know that I'm a badass and I know what I'm doing.
And this is actually in my mentorships when I talk about confidence because a lot of times when you're starting out, you don't have that confidence. But for
Yeah.
me, you literally have to fake it. You have to fake it till you make it, and then you actually
Yep.
start having confidence. You do. When you
Yeah.
fake it for so long, you're like, wow, like I actually do know what I'm doing, and like people like it's like amazing what confidence can do. I even just like looking back at old videos of me like doing photo shoots back when I didn't have confidence. Like my clients were so uncomfortable. They were so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They didn't know like I wasn't giving that good of direction with posing because I wasn't confident. And it's okay to like lose your train of thought when you're like thinking of posing. There's so much going
Totally.
on. And
Yeah.
actually I do bring screenshots to 90% of my shoots. I do all the
Yep.
time because
Me too.
sometimes your brain is doing 60 things at once and you forget something and you'd rather like have a pose on your phone to show them so that you get more like they get more out of their like money
Well,
worth.
and
So
sometimes it's like my brain moves so fast that like I'm gonna take too much time explaining what I want you to do.
yeah,
Instead, I'm just
showing is
like,
easier.
here's what you're doing. I like
Yeah.
to make a pin. I like to take my iPad and my lovely Apple Pencil, and I make an entire mood board, and I
Yeah.
write notes on it, and then I'll pull that up at a shoot. Even if I don't show my couple that, I'll pull it up at a shoot and be like, oh, I really wanted to do this because I really
Correct.
liked the lines of the posing that they were making or the composition of this photo, and I want to try to do something similar,
Yeah.
or just anything. And that's where creative sessions are really beneficial because you can play with the composition and the lines of within your posing, not just within your photo. And then you
Yeah.
can be like, okay, this is how I told this couple to do this, and this is how we figured out the easiest way to accomplish it. So now I can implement that into my other sessions. But if I walked up to a session every time being like, okay, guys, I'm just gonna have you guys stand there
Yeah.
and do whatever you want. There's no confidence. And that's
There's
where
no
like
confidence.
me being super particular comes in being beneficial is like, no, I want you to grab her face, but I want you to grab it this exact way. I don't want you to grab
Yeah.
it a different way. I don't want you
Yeah.
to do it higher. I don't want you to do it lower. I want you to do it right here because I know
Absolutely.
that that's going to look good. And I
Yeah.
just, there's a level to being a photographer that it's like, you have to know those things too. You have to be like watchful when
100%.
posing because you're the professional. I mean,
Yeah.
you're the one who knows these
Well, the
things.
clients aren't thinking of certain things that you are, like, if they have a hair
No,
tie on their wrist or,
totally. A
if there's
tag
hair
hanging out of their dress.
you're not gonna notice that, so it's your job to kind of take
No.
control and, like, memorize things that for every session, you can be like, "Okay, I need to check mark all these things to make sure that this is all good. They don't have anything in their pockets. They don't have
Oh
anything
my
on their
god.
wrists. Their hair isn't in the way." Like,
The pocket thing really gets me.
pockets
It really
pockets
gets
get me.
me.
Pockets get me. It's funny too because some people actually don't wanna take anything out of the pocket. I'm like, "Hey, okay, put your things on a bag," and they're like, "I'll just keep it." And I'm like,
Nope, nope. Everything comes out right now.
"Everything needs to come
I'm
out immediately.
uh,
I'm not photoshopping the bulge."
no. And I'm not
No.
like quite literally, I'm not stealing your wallet. Like
No,
I wear overalls to
never.
my sessions for that particular reason, so I have pockets for all the things.
Wait,
And
that's
I'm like,
smart.
love me my Free People overalls. They're my
Yeah, I'll
tried and
say.
true. If you've ever shot with me, you will know that Free People overalls, I come to them in every session. I have 3 pairs with the pants ones, and then I have 3 pairs of the shorts ones,
Wait,
and
are they
they
like the
are
blousy like material, the cottony material, or they're actually like denim?
they're like the denim barrel Free People overalls.
Okay, I
I
need
have
to
a
stop
blue
looking.
pair, I have a brown pair, and have a green pair. And they're my tried and trues because you can wear a sweater or a sweatshirt with them in the winter.
True.
You can put leggings on underneath.
Yeah.
Your legs are protected from the grass or the field or whatever you're doing. They can be rolled up if you're by water. And then in the summer, you can pair them with a tank top, or you can dress it up. You can dress it down.
Yes.
They, I have spent
Not us wearing full overalls and then we're making our clients like lay in the ticky field.
right.
Roll around in the ticks.
Literally me. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna lay with you. Like, I'm gonna be right up here, but like, you know, and
But
then
our legs are protected.
but our legs are protected for real. It's like they're my favorite though, and I have them for a reason because they have so many pockets. And so I'm like, you know, I'll take your sunglasses and your keys and your phone because I wouldn't want my stuff just laying in the grass either.
No. That's
But
so
like
smart.
when you give me everything else but your wallet, like, babe, I'm not stealing it. I promise.
Yeah. Or they'll leave
Promise.
like their vape in there because they're nervous to like pull it out. I'm like, I don't care, just pull it.
I don't care what you have in there. Take it out. I just take it out. It's not that hard. I have to calm down. I'm an adult. I have to calm down.
I'm crying.
Because we're thinking about these things too, and you're like, because we get to editing, and then we're like, oh my god, there's a wallet in their pocket. Like, why? And then, you know, and I'm like, I can't edit that out. Like, I'm not.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Have you ever thought about how actually so creepy photography is? Like you literally like meet a you meet a random stranger in the random middle nowhere of like a field and literally nowhere knows like and then you don't even know them and then you're getting this stuff up in their face in 5 minutes like
Yep.
creepy actually.
You're telling them what to do. You're directing them.
You're bossing them around like they're your like employee like I don't know employees. It's so funny. It's so funny when you think about it.
It's really comical, and then you're like, take everything out of your pockets and give me all your stuff.
Out now.
Take everything out and go stand in that field. You know, it's like, yeah, it's quite.
It's so funny.
It's quite when you look at it from a really broad perspective. It's yeah, and then you're sitting there and you're staring at them for weeks after, and you're like zooming into like their face, and you can see everything.
Anything like any blemish. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like,
but that's what makes photography and photographers so, I don't even know what the word is, like, special, because we're really spending this much time on each and every client, and we're giving each and every client the time and care that we're putting into these. Because when you're sitting there hours upon hours into editing and you're like removing all the blemishes that could possibly be something that they're insecure about, I think that that's really important because you're putting that care in. And some people who just pop a preset on their photos and they rock on, it's like, you know, where's that
care?
Where's the care? Where's the time? Where's the effort that's put into this? Because I've spent years learning how to remove blemishes. Like, that's not
a craft. It really is.
It's such a craft. And if you don't know what you're doing, I think that it can just be, I think that's the difference between somebody who is really like an artist versus somebody who's just, and there's nothing wrong with standing in a field and just taking some photos. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I mean, that's totally, if that's what your prerogative is and that's what's more comfortable for you, go for it. Absolutely. Yeah. But then there's the level where you have couples who are, I mean, you have photographers who really spend the time and effort into learning every single thing about their camera, about client communication, about making people feel comfortable, and making sure that what the photos that they're getting are special and unique to them. Yes. And that's why I have spent so many years doing creative shoots, because it's allowed me that space to really learn how to communicate and connect with people. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's a really big connection where people are trusting you with their hard-earned money that they've gone to work to pay for, and something
Yeah.
that they're going to have for the rest of their lives. And it's
Yeah.
like, I want you to be able to look back 20 years from now and be like, my God, I loved shooting with her. I
Yeah.
loved that experience. I love those photos. Like, it was amazing. And
Yeah.
so
100%.
I think that there's a level of balancing the artistry of being a photographer and understanding, like, it can be more than what you think it is, because every day
Absolutely.
I read something and I'm like, oh my God, I've never thought to do that. And like, you constantly, you grow and you grow and you grow. And it's one of the best, I think, parts about, at least my opinion about our job, is that we can continually grow, and there's
Yes.
no, the only way is up.
It's so true. That's so true. I growing up, okay, I had in high school I was like fine, but
Hmm.
I had severe social anxiety. And I mean like I could not order at a fast food restaurant. I could
I
not
get it. Yeah.
call I couldn't
Yeah.
call on the phone for anything. Like it was so bad. And I remember like thinking about when I was working at Belk, like, what is my career going to be? Like, I can't talk to people. I could barely talk to my boss. Like, I literally was
I get
so,
it. Yeah.
I don't know why. And so when I started photography, it has honestly, like, the growth, what you were saying,
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
so linked to photography for me. Like it has made me as a person grow because
Yeah.
I've had to force myself to connect with humans on a daily basis in a way that is hard. Like you're having to make them comfortable. And that is something that is so hard as someone who has
Yeah.
social anxiety. Like
No,
I remember
yes.
like
I have
thinking
it
about
too.
like,
It's
yes,
terrible.
thinking about like, okay, how do I talk to them? What do I say? What if I'm stupid? What if what I say is dumb? What if they think I'm like, I don't know, like you get in
Do
your
you ever just
head.
leave a session and you repeat you replay the
Yes.
entire session back, and you're like,
Every
why did
time.
I
Every
say that?
time
Why
I'm
did I
like,
say
"Oh my
that?
gosh, they thought I was so stupid." Like, I just said the
Like,
most.
I'm just a weirdo. Like, I'm so weird. Why did I say that? Like,
Yeah,
why
but
did
then
I
they
have
keep
to be
coming
that
back,
way?
and you're like, "Wait, maybe they like my weirdness. Maybe I
Maybe
do make
that
them
makes me
comfortable."
quirky.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
does.
It's
But it's just
like,
amazing to see, like, what photography, like, can do for
yeah,
not only you, but your clients. Like, I would never imagine 10 years ago that you'd be saying, "Oh, I make people comfortable enough for them to want me to take their photos, and then I actually can do, like, decent photos." Like, I would never
yeah,
think I would be at the spot I am in now, and it's just,
no.
like, it's
Because
amazing what.
it's really scary, and particularly for you, for wedding days. Not
Yeah.
only are you just building a connection with a couple, but then you're photographing in front of 100, 200 people,
Yeah.
like, and they're watching you. They're
Yeah.
actively watching you. I mean, like,
No,
they're
really, they're
not
literally
just,
watching you the whole time.
they're literally watching you. They're paying attention. You're the, awkwardly standing at the front of the aisle,
Then for family
and
photos, you have
everybody,
to yell and make sure you get everybody in the picture, and if they're not there, you have to go and scout them out.
yes,
Like, it's a
you have to be
lot.
hard. You have to be hard so people
100%
aren't
true
paying.
social anxiety gal. It's rough.
It's rough, and I have terrible anxiety, and like, I have terrible anxiety, and
Yeah,
I do find it comical that this is the career that I've chose,
I
because
know.
I mean, just in general,
We're
it's
just anxious
just,
girlies.
we're just anxious girlies. And like, when you're at a wedding and everybody's watching you, or they're trying to talk to you, or
Yeah,
even just being like, having to be that person who's harsh, kind of, when people aren't paying
correct.
attention,
You
and
have to
you're
be kind
like,
of
chop
hard.
chop, you're like, come on, we're not messing around, we got to
Yeah,
get this done because we're on a timeline and we have to
yeah.
get to the next thing.
You have to be
And
kind of the bad guy.
you
With
have to.
actually planners.
mm,
Have you? Oh well, you haven't done. Well,
I've worked with a few I've worked with a few planners
okay.
at the weddings that I've done. Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about them?
I think that it depends on the planner.
Okay,
I
absolutely.
think that I had one planner at a wedding I did last year in April. She was an angel sent from above. I loved her. She
Yeah,
was incredible, and she did, like, during like the family photos, they had quite a big wedding party, not wedding party, but they just had a lot of family. Um and we had kind of discussed prior, that she was going to particularly be there during those, calling names out for me. so that
Oh,
I could focus on the lighting and the things, and we could do it more efficiently because we didn't have a lot of time. So we had kind of discussed that prior. And I am an anxious girly, and so we were having a FaceTime call to kind of go over the timeline and everything. Because she's like the greatest communicator. She was
oh
amazing.
wow.
And she had my own specialized timeline. Like she's a rock
Top
star.
tier.
Her name is
Top
her
tier.
name is Karina. Her, for anybody who's listening who wants a planner, her business is now I think it's like Vow and Verve or something. She's a
Right?
Raleigh planner.
Oh my god.
She literally, so she had another person. She has it there's another planner and they work together, and sometimes
Okay.
they work separately, but they were both there,
Yeah.
and they set everything up while being like fully present, helping me and making sure that the timeline was on track. And it just was like, so that experience, 10 out of 10. She was
Oh
amazing.
my gosh.
She was, I cannot like express how much stress it took off of me because I wasn't worried about so silly things like, oh my God, I have to, direct 30 family members and photos and the things. And
Yeah.
so, and then like I think somebody started chatting and she was like, nope, no chatting. We're getting this done. You can chat later.
Yeah.
Like
That's
she was
crazy.
like, we're getting back to it.
That's
Um,
what I wish I had. I literally only think I can think of 3 planners out of the hundreds of weddings I've
oh
done
my gosh.
that did what I feel like a planner should do. And that's not discrediting planners. I just think, like, for example, 2 years ago, I went to a wedding and went through the whole day. And then at dinner, the planner came out to me and introduced herself. And I was like, I didn't even know she had a planner. I was doing all the planning, but I didn't get paid for it. And that's what happens a lot of times as a
Oh
photographer is
my
like
God.
the planning falls on the photographer is like the
Yeah, absolutely.
timeline, the everything that I feel like planners should do. It always feels
Shouldn't be
like
the
it falls
stress
on
of the
me.
photographer.
Yeah, and it is. And so that is also an added stress on top of photographing your wedding. You also have to make sure the timeline is correct because like going throughout the day, if they're not on time, you have to be the bad guy when that's not even really your job. It should be the planner's job to do that.
If you have a
So
planner,
if you have a
like
planner,
if you're
correct.
hiring a planner, they should be. I have had some planners who I had one planner who I I think she was technically they hired her as like the day of coordinator.
Which
But
their
like
job is a little bit different, so I feel like, right?
yeah, I feel like I think they had hired her more so to be, like the planner who was, there to make sure everything was going smoothly. And they did a lot of
Yes.
things themselves. Like they did all the table arrangements and stuff themselves. So she
Yes, which is a
wasn't
lot.
handling the day of coordinator. She wasn't really handling a lot of that. But like she wasn't like the girl I had last April helping me with the family photos staying on
Which
track. I was
I've
directing
only had
them.
that happen one time. I've only had a planner one time help me with family photos. That's it. One time.
It should be much more common. And
It should.
also possibly even communicating maybe possibly with a couple in advance and being like, can I have the planner's information? Can I'd like to hop on a
Correct.
call with them to really discuss expectations of who's
Absolutely.
doing what. Because
Yes.
if I need to be the person who's directing this and staying on this time, then I need to know that this is the expectation of the day and you're going to be handling
Absolutely.
something else, or if they're going to be handling those things with you, because
Yeah.
it's a collaborative effort. We have the
It
same
is.
objective.
Correct.
There's the same
Absolutely.
objective for both. And then there's like the times when you don't have a planner at all.
I know. Then it all falls on you. But
Yes. And you're
at the same
like,
time, with my experience, it all falls on me either way.
yeah.
So
true,
I
true stories.
well, that's not true. I feel like okay, so day of coordinators I feel like are the ones who kind of just like help them like go down the aisle correctly,
Mm,
kind of just keep things running smoothly. And then planners are like they're doing like the decor, they're doing like
yes,
getting everything
absolutely.
organized. So like, they have a lot more on their plate, which I so understand. But I do feel like it's frustrating as a photographer when so many weddings, these people are getting paid thousands of dollars to do these jobs, and then it just falls on me a lot, and it's just so frustrating. And
Yeah.
that's been my biggest challenge as a wedding photographer, honestly, has been the planning side of it. It's just all fallen on me a lot of the times. And I mean,
Well,
there's been a handful that are really good, but
yeah.
it's
Well,
just
and
hard.
then you're on top of what I said earlier was you're also having to be creative, think outside of the
Correct.
box, get fun
Lighting.
with your posing, your
Yep.
lighting, your angles, your things. And if you're having to do it all, an entire wedding is resting on the shoulders of one person.
Yeah.
I mean, and that
Absolutely.
can be, even if you have a second shooter, that can be really
Exhausting. So
and
exhausting.
overwhelming. I can't even
Yeah.
imagine how overwhelming. And that is a big reason that I'm not a full-time wedding photographer,
Yeah.
because I just think that it's too I know personally that that's not something that I can 100% handle at the
Manage. Yeah.
capacity of like wedding after wedding after wedding. One wedding, I'm good.
Absolutely.
I've got this. I can handle a couple weddings. Like I'm
Yes.
down for it. It's the level of all of them all of the time that's like
100%. It's a lot.
it's
It's a
too
lot.
much.
It's a
Yeah.
lot on your body. It's a lot on your mental state. Like
Yes.
I'll leave a wedding and have to take, I think, 3 or 4 days to just regroup because I just
You
feel like
have to recover.
yeah, there's so much going on throughout the day that it's like takes such a toll on my battery, like it drains my battery. Um,
Yeah.
and so to get creative, I have to literally like take a few days to be like, okay, I can breathe again. Let me like
I
regroup, and
need
then
a
I can
deep
get back
breath.
into
I
it.
need a hot
Yeah,
bath. I need to
yeah.
read a
And then if
good
I have
little
a wedding
book.
every weekend, and like if I have one back to back every weekend, it can get really hard. And then I feel like I
Yeah.
shaft my creativity through those months. I just feel like, okay, I just need to make it through this and give all my clients what I can give them, and like put all
Well,
my
that's where the
eggs in this
burnout
basket.
comes in too. I mean,
Yes,
that's when you
absolutely.
start to burn out because you're just on this repetitive cycle that you can't break, and then you're
Yeah,
exhausted.
yeah,
Because I think that sometimes there's an idea that being a business owner is not saying that's easier. People think that's easy because I don't think they do. But I do think that there's a level of like funness that comes with it. And while there's a lot of extra things that make it even harder, in my
yes,
opinion. Like
yeah,
being a business owner is really hard. It's really stressful, balancing not only client communication, but growing creatively and artistically. But you
yeah,
also, and I wanted to touch on this with you too, because we discussed it and we've talked about it a little bit in the past too, but the pressure of social media on top of
yes.
it and having to be present on social media as well, being almost like a full-time influencer
You have to
on
be.
top of having a whole business. I mean, you're
Yes,
having to make behind the scenes content. We're having to buy meta glasses to film everything. We're having to cut those videos down. We're having to curate posts and curate our feed to make it,
yes.
artistically appealing. We're having to make reels. You know how long a reel takes? A
Oh my
reel
gosh,
takes a
the reels
ridiculous
for the
amount of time.
TikTok. Yes, and then you have to find the audios and like it's actually funny
Or
because
vlogs.
correct. Like you have to do a lot to kind of like make sure you like get yourself out there. Um
Yeah.
back when I kind of first started, I had another photographer, which this took me a long time to get over, but okay. Basically, she came to me and she
Story
was a
time.
lot story time. She's a lot older. Yeah, she's like a lot older. She's been in this business for a really long time. She knew what she was doing. But she came to me one time and was like, "Courtney, you need to clean your Instagram." And I was like, "What? What?" And she was like, "Your Instagram looks terrible."
um,
And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Really?" Like,
letting me know. Oh,
yeah.
oh really?
Yeah, and she was like, you're just posting whatever. You're posting to post. You need to post what you want to attract your clients. You need to post your
Yeah,
best work.
absolutely.
You need to post things that attract who you want to like book with you." And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that was so me. I was like so offended for so long with that. But looking back, it was so helpful,
True.
honestly,
That
because
was so
then
true.
that night I went home, deleted all the ones that were deleted all, deleted all the ones that I was just posting to post. I was like posting to post, which I do think you need to post a lot. I think that is so important. But I
Yeah.
think it's good to be intentional with what you're posting. And
Mm-hmm.
like if I don't
Absolutely.
really want to do family photos, I'm not going to kind of post a lot of family photos, which I
Amen.
I don't really do a lot of families. I love to do them, but I don't do them that often. And I think I really like to like go towards like couples boudoir and maternity. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm trying to stick with, and I'm trying to post a feed that attracts people in,
Yeah,
and
attracts
I'm
that
all for like
clientele.
correct, and I'm all for posting like a wide variety. I don't think you should niche down, but I think it is very important to, yeah, attract a clientele, make your feed look cohesive, and but also I don't want to like put that pressure on me to like always make sure it's like so perfect. But I
Yeah.
do think once I cleaned my Instagram up, I had so much more interest, and I had so many people thinking, okay, she's like curating the, I don't know, just looked better. It looked better. It looked more
Yeah.
appealing to people. And I was focusing on the things I really wanted to focus on, which was like couples at the time. So
Mhm.
yeah, once she gave me that advice, it's never left my brain. It's always stuck with me. And like I've had to remind myself, okay, sometimes I can post different things, and it's okay to like have a different feed, but I think it is also important to, you know, post my best work, post what I'm like wanting to attract. So that has
Yeah,
been very
absolutely.
important in my business.
In posting things that are also show that you are consistent, but
Yes,
keeping a
consistency.
consistency, not in the aspect of like your feed looks almost too perfect or everything looks the same, but
Yep.
it's still consistent within the way like feed planning. For anybody listening, you'll have to tell us. Is feed plan like do feeds like are you looking at the feeds and you're like, oh my god, this feed looks so good? Because I must know because we spend so
Yeah.
much time
Well,
like
that's what I do.
I spend a ridiculous amount of time looking at my feed and being like, no, those two poses are the same. No, these can't be
Yeah.
next to each other because the girl's on the same side. Or, now I
Correct.
need
Think
now I
similar
need a
pose.
close up one. Now I need
Yes.
something farther away. Now I need something with a
Yes.
blue sky. Now I need something with a sunset. Like now
Yeah.
I need something more, all these are really like girls in shorter dresses or things that aren't super whimsical. So now I need a session with the girl who's in a long flowing white dress.
It's
It's
so
like
much. Yeah. So much goes through our feed. We're like
it's
overthinking our feed.
we totally are. And it's like there's such an artistry to it because it is at the end of the day, it is your portfolio.
Yeah.
It's the only thing besides your website, which obviously has all the information on it. But I think all of our clientele, at least all of my clientele, comes primarily from Instagram.
Yeah.
And having a cohesive feed that really showcases your ability and not just the same pose in the same spot with the same sky.
Absolutely.
It's, here's different lighting. Here's me in the rain. Here's me on a beach in the mountains. Like, here's
Yes.
everything that I can do and how adaptable I am as a photographer to whatever location that's been given to me or,
Yes.
location that we've are shooting at. And I think
Yeah.
it's really important to show your diversity within that because no client, you can have diversity in your galleries and that's absolutely fine. But the only thing people see at first is the one photo on your feed. And
Yeah.
that photo has to be good enough for them to be like, oh, I want to see what the rest of these look like.
Correct.
And then they
Correct.
can see the diversity in your lighting and your posing and the prompts that you're doing. But it's so important to really, pay attention to how it looks and not just posting to post, but being really intentional about it.
Yeah.
Intentional about the
Absolutely.
reels that you're posting. I also think that there's a level of like, and this is my hot take for the day,
Okay. Let's hear it.
trends. We don't need to make a TikTok for every trend that's going around
Yes.
because I have seen some trends that are sort of backhandedly bashing clients
Yes.
or just
Correct.
things like that. Like it's like we don't need to be, I think having, at least for me personally, I want my page to feel like art. I want
Me
my
too.
photos to feel like art. I want it to feel like a movie. I want it to
And
feel
yours
like
does, honey. Yours
thank you.
does.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That just,
Aw.
you're making me blush today actually.
Oh, I love
Um but like the reels that I make, I want my reels to be like, POV. You hire me to capture your love exactly as it is.
it. Yeah.
Not, here's everything I hate about being a photographer.
Which
Or
that
here's
is
everything
so
that's hard.
crazy. No, that's actually so crazy because I just saw a really well-known photographer actually. Not gonna say who because I don't know.
No.
Um,
No.
but she and he, they both post like things like that are kind of just like degrading their clients,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
nothing is more of a red flag to me than doing that to people who are trusting you, who are putting their hardworking money into you, and then you're sitting there
Absolutely.
making things like that just kind of like make them feel, because then clients overthink themselves too, and they're like, oh my
What
gosh,
if I
she said,
did this? Did I do that
yeah,
at my session? Are they talking about
yeah,
me?
she
Is
made
that
this
the
TikTok video, I do that.
experience?
Yeah, they overthink like their whole session, and then it makes them
Yeah.
nervous to book with you again. Like it's not a good look to do that, and it's not, if you want that connection, like I've been saying, is so important. Doing a TikTok or doing trends that don't feel right or feel
Everything you
like,
put on the internet matters.
it
Everything, it
matters.
lives there. You
It
don't know who's
matters.
seeing it. Even my girl Brianna, if you're listening, love you.
Yes. Hey, Brie girl.
She she followed one of those trends one day when she did it, and she immediately deleted it because she was like, this just feels icky.
Feels
It just
icky.
feels
That
it feels
just
icky. It
feels
does
wrong
not
because
feel
I have to put myself in like a client's shoes too. And I think,
Mhm.
okay, if I was hiring a photographer and they posted this, how would I, like, would I want to book with them, or does this give me like a red flag or an ick?
Does this ick me out and make me want to
Yeah.
unfollow them? Because it makes me. I mean,
Yes.
watching this, and it's like if you want your photos and your page to feel like an artistry, like it is truly a gallery that you are walking into, where
Yeah.
an artist has hand painted all of these exceptional images or scenes or landscapes or whatever they're doing. If that's
Yeah.
what you want your photos to feel like, you can't then turn around and make content that doesn't reflect that.
No. And
You
I
want
also
your
think,
photos to feel intimate, but like
correct.
you can't be cringy also.
Well, I also think oversharing kind of goes hand in hand
Hmm.
with that. Sometimes, like,
Yeah,
a lot of photographers will overshare, whether that's on their
totally.
story or, and I'm not saying you can't post a lot. I'm just saying
Totally.
sometimes when you overshare, you add some hot topics or you add some hot takes that one person could maybe think like, wow, this is not like that one
This
thing
is
that
not
you
it.
might not even think about twice. One person could think, oh yeah, this is like not cute. Like, I'm gonna not follow you
Totally.
because that's, so you have to be so careful with the oversharing, the like the current trends that may not feel right. Like a lot of the trends that a lot of photographers do, I feel wrong about. So I'm like, I'm not gonna partake in that. Like, I
No.
don't agree. I think that that's messed up for you to say about your client, or make light of it. Like, I don't understand
Hmm.
that.
And
Like,
our pages are they are a reflection of our business. And
yes,
I
and their
do
art.
agree that they are art. And I do agree that oversharing, having some things on your page about you, like stories, like what you're doing, what you're up to, personal things, like every once here or there,
It
totally.
is
Clients want
important.
to
It's
see
so
you.
important to do
They
that, yeah.
they want to see you. They want to know that you're a real person and you're not,
Absolutely.
with the way that the internet is, everybody wants to know that you are real, that you are human, that you do have a
Correct.
life and you have, just all the things. But there's a level where it's like, I'm not going to get on the internet every day and share every single thing that I've done today. I'm just not
No,
doing that
that's
because
crazy.
it's not really about me. This
No,
isn't really about me. It's about
it's
the
not.
way that I see the world and the way that I capture people. And I think that that's
Exactly.
more important to showcase how I view the things that are in front of me, how
Rather
watchful
than
I am, how
yourself.
particular I'm than myself, because at the
Yep.
end of the day, it's not about my personality, it's not about my likes, my dislikes, what I, ate today. And
Yeah.
will I share
Yeah.
my food on vacay? Sure. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to share if I'm on
And
vacation,
don't get me
but
wrong, there
like
are some clients who literally wanna know everything about you,
totally.
and they love keeping up.
Totally.
Like, sometimes that does happen, but there are clients who are like, "Okay, I'm coming to you for your art. I love you as a person too, you make me feel comfortable," but they don't care to see every second
You're an,
of your day.
I want you to take me and my person, and I want you to capture us, and I want you to make art with this at the
Yes.
end of the day. And
Yes.
those are the clients that you want to attract. So by doing that, you have to post for those. So you're
Yes.
posting POVs, you hire a photographer who, his photos feel like a movie scene or
Yeah.
whatever those kind of things are. And
Yes.
it's like that's the showcasing. And I don't reels aren't my favorite. I post them because Instagram likes them. But
Yeah,
like I
same.
just think that there's something truly so I don't even know what the word would be. I'm just going to go with artistic because that's my word of the day.
Yeah.
Um about the way that you curate a gallery within your feed and the order that you're posting them and the captions that you're using and even the keywords. Like everything has to be so thought out because you want it to be really intentional. If you're just popping
Yeah.
up a bunch of photos and you're putting, when you open up a carousel post and the first 3 photos are essentially them in the same pose,
Yeah.
where's the like
Variety.
my rule of thumb is the first 3 images have to be the showstoppers
Yeah, agreed.
because you're going to swipe 3 times. And if it's not holding your attention, you're going to go after that. I
Absolutely.
mean,
Yeah,
you need it
so
to be
true.
in your face and right there.
Yep.
And I just think that there's such a pressure too because the level of like what clients look for within photographers having followers and people who are interacting with your posts and the engagement that you're getting. It's like, oh, this photographer has 10,000 followers, but this post just got 50 likes. Like maybe they're not like as good as I like want them to be. And it's like there's a level to that too where the follower aspect of things creates a lot of pressure because it's like,
It's so much
okay,
pressure.
it's so much pressure. I mean, it really is.
That's so true. I feel like
And
a lot of times when like people who have, more following,
mhm,
they overthink everything too. And like they're like, okay,
totally.
if this post doesn't do well, I have to delete it. When it's like, okay, in reality, there is someone out there who appreciates that post and looks
Totally.
at it and thinks, wow, this might be their best work. Like I posted something not too long ago and I was like, oh, I don't really know. Like, I don't know how I feel about these. Like, I don't know, maybe they're and people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is your best work yet. This is like the best photo shoot." Like multiple people said that and I was like, "Wow, like it's really all perspective."
Mhm.
And I mean, and going back to the oversharing, like I think it is important to share things that yes, maybe you don't necessarily think is your best work, but you think it is good enough. I think that is too good to like show people variety because sometimes when you're posting just your best work, you're posting like probably somewhat similar things because you like a certain thing. So
Mhm.
I do think it is important to post a variety. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that.
Lost our train of thought.
Lost our
It's
train. Whoop,
okay.
we went that way.
We're all good. I do think that like I've shared sessions in the past where I'm like, I just don't know if I like love this. Like it's maybe
Yep.
not my favorite thing I've ever done. But
Yep.
then it gets like so much engagement and people will message me personally and they'll be like, "Oh my god, like I love these." And I'm
Yes.
like, "Do you really?"
I have to stop looking at engagement because I
Mhm.
think once I focus too much on that and then like my next ones don't perform as good, I get
Totally.
so down on myself and I'm like,
Totally.
"Kate, why am I doing it's like it's over Instagram. I'm literally getting worked up over social media when
It's
like
not that big of a deal at the end of
it's
the day,
not that big of
really.
a deal. If one post does 1,000 likes, one post does 20 likes, it doesn't affect me. Like, I don't
No.
know why I harp on it for so long, but I do. And so I have to really be careful with social media and I have to be very careful of my engagement and looking at that and like looking at how many views I get my stories or how many, like, I have to be so careful because I
Yeah.
can spiral real quick.
It's
That's how I
really
am.
toxic. It's really toxic, and
So
I'm the
toxic.
same exact way. I mean, we all know, well, you and I know, we're about to share with everybody else. When I posted the motorcycle pictures, and
Yes.
they just didn't do as well as I thought they were going
Yes.
to.
We were
It
like, what?
butthurt. I was really butthurt over those.
I
And
know.
not because and it's like at the end of the day I had to look in the mirror and I had to be like, "Sophie, you're fine." Like these are excuse my language, but these are fucking
No,
incredible.
they're
These
insane.
are amazing.
They're
Like
insane.
these are exactly what I wanted. Like what I
Correct.
had in my brain about what I wanted to achieve, that was it.
Yes,
And I
and that
did that
also
and I
goes
should
back
be
to
proud of
algorithm.
it.
Yes, it goes
Mhm.
back to algorithm because sometimes if Instagram doesn't push it or the time of day, like,
Oh my
sometimes it
god.
just doesn't work
All the
out.
factors.
Yes,
And then there's
so
the pressure where it's like, "Oh my god, 6 PM, I have to post."
correct. I
Like,
always have to post at 6. 6 PM is my time. If I miss it,
6
I have to wait the
PM.
next day.
Yep. And then you're like at dinner with your family or you're at a family function, you have a session when you post, and you're like, "Guys, I'll be back. I gotta go post."
Literally, and that takes, like, an hour for me to, like, get the whole, like, collages together and, like, pin it all because 'cause I'm, like,
Totally.
so particular about, like, "Okay, this one needs to be here, this one needs to be here, this one needs to be" like, in the collages, like, I'm just so
Oh,
particular about
it's
that.
so terrible, and it's so much it's just so much pressure, like,
So
at
much
the end of the day, and I just don't know, I mean, maybe it is talked about enough. I feel like I wanna continually talk about it because I think it's really important for new people who haven't yet really dipped their toes into the industry and they're really just at the beginning of their career to understand that while yes, this is an amazing thing, there are going to be a lot of hoops that you have to jump under and
for
jump over.
sure, for sure.
There's going to be a lot of things that, and it sounds sort of silly at the end of the day, like, an Instagram post is that doesn't perform well is a setback
Yeah,
because that's what it feels like. It's like, and
yep,
I'm very competitive with myself. Like, if
same.
I'm like, if something didn't perform well, it's like, I can just do it better next time. I'm going to
Yeah,
do something that's even better. And not for likes, but just for the fact of like, maybe these weren't as good as I thought they were going to be. So I'm going to continue to grow to become better.
for
And
sure.
it's really hard because you're so focused on so many things. There's so many factors. There's so many levels to this business. And it's
Yep,
like, I do think it's really important for people who are just starting out to understand that there's going to be days that are really hard. There's going to be
absolutely.
things that are really hard. And even though they seem really silly, like getting worked up about social media, at the end of the day, it is our entire world because that's where
Yeah,
we're getting all of our clients. So if
yes,
we're not performing well, it means we're not getting pushed, which means we're not getting new clientele. And then
correct.
it's like, okay, maybe I suck and I just need to quit.
Well, and
And
this goes hand in hand with, like, comparison, like,
yep, totally.
I cannot preach this enough. I preach this in my mentorships too. Like comparison is literally a thief of joy. Like
Totally.
the amount of times it set me back or pushed me back from my full capacity of what I could actually do creatively.
Totally.
It's such a thief. And you can sit here all day long and compare yourself to somebody else and be like, well, they have more followers. They have more likes on this post. And it's like, you cannot do that. You cannot
No.
like chain yourself up into this comparison box because you will get yourself nowhere. And just because someone else is successful does not mean that you cannot be successful yourself in a different way. And I do
Totally.
think comparison also leads into copying.
Mhm.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's another thing that even when I first started too, there were times where I pulled inspo from people and copied straight up. I'll be honest. And sometimes I do still pull inspo from other people
Totally.
and that is not a problem. But I do think once you start copying someone else's whole identity or you compare so
Mhm.
much that you're like, okay, I need to copy and paste exactly what they did.
Exactly,
That is
their
when
outfits, their lighting,
yes,
their things. You can grab inspiration for
yes,
themes, like the bike shoot
yep,
that I just did. Um, Miles Levitt, I don't
yes,
know how to say his last name, and, her handle is Esther's Cannon.
yes, I love them.
They did, a bike shoot, and it was
Yes,
all over my Pinterest, and I was like, "I wanna do a bike shoot." I haven't done one in a while because I have a bike,
yeah,
I've done bike shoots in the past, it's just been a minute, and I was like, "I really love those," and they really inspired me to plan a shoot, pull my bike out, use my props that I love, and really get creative with the posing of the things that I was doing. And
yes,
I love those photos. They're amazing. But
yeah,
I didn't copy their outfits.
the
I didn't
exact same
copy
thing.
their no. But was I inspired by their art? Absolutely. And then
Yes,
in turn that inspired me. And I
yes,
think that there's a level where it's like you can be inspired, but you cannot copy. You cannot just
no,
be like, I want this couple to wear this exact
or at least
outfit.
give credit.
At least be
Give
like
credit.
these were inspired by, and so this is me
Yeah,
giving credit.
yeah,
My bike photos were inspired by the shoot that they did, and
yeah,
obviously they live in California, their photos are
yeah,
amazing, they're
yeah,
incredible, like I'm never
yeah.
gonna look like that's not, but
Yes,
like I was super inspired and I was like, wow, I should really pull out my bike. I have it in like 2 years, and
yeah,
I have this bike specifically for photo shoots, and I was
yes,
like, huh. And so I did it and it was fun and it was awesome. But it still felt true to me because it was
Correct.
my idea, it was my posing. You know,
Correct.
we did a whole different picnic scene. Like it wasn't the same. And so
Yeah.
I think that when you're a beginner or, you know, you're just potentially like naive to the fact of like, yes, you can be inspired, but you cannot copy someone's
You
entire
can't.
identity as
Because you
photographer
have
because
you
you
have
have
your
to be
uniqueness to
authentic.
yourself. Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
unique. No one looks at you and thinks, "Wow, she provides something different from this person." It takes away
Yeah.
from the person you're copying, actually.
Yeah.
But it does suck too when like clients will come to you and like they'll want to copy the exact same thing. I try really hard to be like, "Okay, well, let's switch a little thing here and there." Like,
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
yeah, and like obviously you can't do anything if they want to do the exact same thing. Like sometimes whatever, I'll do that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like I'll definitely try to make sure there are certain things that are different. So it's not exactly copy and paste and you want to try to make it your own as much as you can. But I mean, those are the few cases where you're like, okay, I
I'll
have to,
just
I'll
I'll
do what my
just do
client
it
wants.
because
Yeah.
they want it to be a particular way and it's like I
Yes.
love being specific, but
Yes.
we can't find a session off of Pinterest and make a board
Correct.
with this one session and be like I really want to do this. And I think that there's my hot take, another hot take of the day is which this is potentially just common sense, I don't know. But like whatever posing or prompt that you maybe specifically want to do as the client, like you're never going to look like that because you're not them.
Yeah. It's so
You're
different.
not you don't have the same, we're not in the same location, we're not you don't look the same, you're not the same age, you're not the same height. Like there's some things like there's poses that couples will want to do sometimes. And sometimes they're just their height difference does not call for it.
Yeah.
The way that their height the height difference sometimes really gets me because I'm like this is not working
Yes.
out and I know it's because of their height difference because I
Yes.
know those things because that's my job. But
Yeah.
it's like there's some things where it's like we can try our best to recreate it, but typically if I've ever recreated something that a client like a specific pose they wanted to do, it always ended up looking totally different because I had to sort of maneuver them into a better position that worked better for the two of them. And
Yes.
it's like
Exactly.
and then you kind of leave the session and you're like, well, that didn't really look like what they wanted it to look like. So are they going to be disappointed that it's not the same? Or and that's another level of pressure too because clients will make inspiration boards and the things which is amazing, but you always have that sort of worry in the back of your mind that's like is my photos going to live up to this expectation that
Yep.
they have set for this session.
Yeah.
And it's like you always have that fear and I've never really had a session where somebody's like this doesn't look like my inspiration and they're always like this is even better. And so
Yeah.
that's always amazing to hear, but there is
Yep.
a level that's like is this going to live up to what they had in their mind? Because when I do
Absolutely.
creative sessions, sometimes I'm like, this really just did not live up to what I wanted this to be. Like, I could have done so much better. I could have done this so differently. And I'm like, I'll do better next time. Or I'll do
Yep.
what I wanted to do next time. And that's where like the competitiveness comes in. But
Yeah.
there's just I do think that couples, families, anything. I do wish that they had more of an understanding of, all of the things that we're juggling during a session because it's really hard and you have to
It
have a
is.
lot of brain power to move through this times multiple people a week plus weddings plus studio sessions plus just all the things and then you're going home and you're having to edit everything and like
Yep.
it starts to pile up and it starts to pile up and it
Do you
becomes a
offer
big
sneak peeks
mental load.
anymore?
Huh?
Do you offer
What'd you
sneak
say?
peeks anymore?
I don't. I have had a few negative experiences with sneak peeks.
Me too.
So if I'm really excited about a session, I will.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I might send like one or two.
Right.
It's not like here's 14 sneak peeks.
Yeah.
I have had a few negative experiences that resulted into not even completing the whole gallery.
Oh, no.
that was
Oh
an
my
ex- that was an
god.
experience. I sent a couple sneak peeks to a couple, and they hated the sneak peeks and wanted a refund. or it was, how are you going to rectify this situation? And I was like, I'm gonna
Oh,
rectify it by returning your money. Like,
wait,
and
that's actually
Mhm.
what's sad about sneak peeks is like you're sending the best ones. So when you send the full gallery, I don't think it's as
Mhm.
exciting because they already got their like the best of the best, or at least I feel like
or
that.
or like, I'm so picky. We know this. How am I supposed to choose the ones that I think you're going to like because I don't really know you? Like, I
True.
don't know what you like about yourself. I don't know
True.
that. I'm really picky. Like
Yeah.
the way in photos with of myself. So like, how am I supposed to know that you're gonna like this photo? And
Well,
I
it's
always
funny
look out for
because
the things, but
yes, it's funny because I like whenever I take photos of my best friend, she's like the only person who I'll let go through the whole gallery and like pick her favorites.
mhm.
She always saves the ones that I was going to delete. Like she always picks favorites. And I'm like, ooh, I would have deleted that.
I
And like
love
my
that.
favorites are the ones she's like, no, I don't like my face in this one. I don't like my leg in this one. And I'm like, wait, I think this is literally art. And so
This is the
now
best
I'm an
photo I've
over
ever
deliverer.
taken.
Yeah, now I'm an over
Amen.
deliverer.
Amen. I can't help it. How many
Yes.
images do you deliver in a gallery?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be like
If
Courtney.
anybody's watching this, I want you to go back and I want you to replay Courtney's face when I asked her that question. Because her eyes got so
It's
big.
bad. Like and I've gotten better because I know like nothing is more overwhelming than getting too many photos and like they're all the same. Like that's
Yeah.
I try not to do that too much
Yeah.
as much as I used to. But it can be anywhere like for a regular session it can be anywhere from like 200 to like 350.
Amen. Amen. I was like, I hope she really says something that's not nearly as the amount that I send
Yeah.
because it's
And people are
ridiculous.
like, I over deliver and I send 200 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I send way more. Sometimes even
Your
400.
bike pictures, the motorcycle pictures.
Yeah.
I think that there was like
How many was in that?
300.
But I ate every single one up. That's the problem. It's like, and then
Well,
like when I
there's
know my
also
best friend. No, go ahead.
so nope. You go ahead. You go ahead.
When like I know when like my best friend like picks out the ones I don't like, then it makes me overthink, and I'm like, well, maybe let me keep a few. And then a lot of my clients end up using the ones that I almost delete, and I'm like, wow,
Totally.
like
Totally.
it makes me think like, okay, well, I really just need to
You're
keep
like,
delivering a lot.
dang. You're like, dang. I gotta just do it all then. I just
Yeah,
gotta do
yeah,
it all at this rate. And
yeah.
I'm a big believer of like, I'm here to capture these moments. Like, I'm gonna give you all the moments. Like, I'm
Every
not
single good
gonna.
picture I take, I give.
Yeah. It.
Like,
I like to do a. So I put my card in my computer, and then I do like a big rough cull
yeah,
of just those photos because I don't keep every photo because I just don't have the storage capacity for them.
yeah, yeah,
Particularly with the increase in hard drives right now, I don't have the storage capacity for that.
yeah.
So I do a big rough cull and then I do like another one. And I'm still at like dang 700 images
No,
sitting in Lightroom
so
that I'm
bad.
still having to go through because I'm like, I can't.
It's
How am I
so
supposed to
bad.
choose?
No, I know, and
How
that's
am
the
I
thing,
supposed to
like,
choose?
I'll pick my favorites, and then I'll be like, "Well, like, this one, I don't know if I should keep or not," and then I keep it, and then they use it as their front cover picture. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, if I would've deleted that, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have never known, but I don't know, what if like, I don't know, it's just like
What if they got their photos back and they're like, God, it's just I just feel like something's missing. Like I just feel like there's one that's
yeah,
missing. And it's the one that you deleted. I
I
mean,
know. I mean, they wouldn't know if it
it,
was gone, but at the same time,
it
like, I don't know, it's
it's
just
really it's
you think
really
too much about
tough.
it.
And then that's the other thing is like we're having to pick all of the images that we feel as if they're right. And
Yeah,
when it comes to sneaks, I'll do them for weddings
for
or
weddings, I do too.
elopements. For
I do
elopements and weddings.
proposals and weddings too, that's what I do.
Yep. But like regular sessions, I just no longer offer them because it hasn't serviced me in the past and I've had
No.
actually unfortunately a few experiences where sneak peeks have been given even if it's just like one or two and it has
Yeah.
led down a rabbit hole that I just didn't need to go down, you know.
No. Yeah. Well, then
Um
also too, like, um, oh, lost my train of thought again.
we're just doing that
There
today.
it goes. I literally don't know what I was
It goes out the door.
This keeps happening. I had a whole thing I was just gonna say. Now I don't even know. Well,
I just it's so picking the photos is so important. But I will say something that do like to do so couples aren't super overwhelmed. And I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I am in Miles Levitt's education page, his like monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Learned so much from that. Oh my god, like that was amazing. I
Yeah.
love it. Um he does a lot of like live editing Zooms and stuff, but in it he does a lot of, he talks about some other things. And like there's one, like I've gone back and I've watched his ones from like the past, and he had a master class, and he's mentioned it a few times, but something that he does, and I've started implementing it, and I personally, at least for me, I think it's made such a difference. I'm not really sure client's perspective if it hasn't, but when I upload my gallery into PicTime, I don't know what service you use, but I use PicTime for my
I use
galleries.
Pixie Set.
I think you can do it. I'm sure you can do it in a Pixie Set also. You can choose. I pick like 20 to 25 of my favorites. I go through and I select them all, and I
Mhm.
make those the highlights. So when they open up the gallery,
Oh.
the very first thing they see is like the best photos. And then once they're done, it goes through all of like the same kind of variations, and then they can see the whole thing. But
Okay.
it's like, here's,
Oh, that makes sense because when I was looking at your shoot, did you do that for ours?
yep,
Okay, because
I
I
did.
think they like some of them were out of order and then it went back into like.
Totally.
Okay, so that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Okay,
Yes. And that
that's
way you're
smart.
like, oh my God, there's like that one. And then you can see the whole session
Yes.
within 20, 25 photos.
Yeah.
And then you can see the rest and pick your favorites. But it's like, oh,
Wow.
because after you're scrolling through 200 photos, you're like, oh my God, do I have to keep looking at these?
Yeah.
At least you
Yeah.
have a sort of an opportunity to um do that ahead of time. It's
Yeah.
like when the second they see the gallery, they see the best ones, or at least the ones that you think are the best ones.
Yeah.
And I learned that from him, and I've started to implement it, and at least
That's
I
so
think that it's
smart.
made a difference.
Yeah.
It's also kind of fun for me too, because it's like I'm curating a little.
A little. Yeah. A
It's like
favorite.
I get to curate it, and I'm moving them where I want to move them to, and I'm, because I don't always keep it in the same order. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I'll, pair with what looks better together, whatever. But I definitely, when you said something about sneak peeks not being excited for the gallery anymore because it's just the same thing, I do think that's a way to sort of be excited, where it's like, oh my God, I love that one. And then they go
That's
into
so
the gallery, and I'm
true.
like, oh my God, there's another one that I love. But they're
Yeah.
not overwhelmed with them all at once.
Because it can be so overwhelming when you have a whole gallery and you're like, I don't know, like they're all fine. Like I don't know what to pick. Like sometimes it can be too much. So I do understand that side of it. So that is smart doing the highlights of it. I just do mine from when we started to the very
Yeah.
end, and I'm like,
And I
that can get
used to do
overwhelming.
that. And now, and it's an extra 20 minutes I'm spending really
Yeah.
going through the whole gallery, being like, oh, I really like this one. Oh, I really like this one. Oh, I think, this is something that they should see like front and center right when they open the gallery to
Yeah.
get excited about it.
Yeah.
I will say something that I really love and I'm really excited, particularly with podcasts, is the amount of things that you can learn from other people.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
so true.
obviously, like common sense, but like the things that I think education is really important. And I have been doing this for 5 years now, and I'm still doing education. I'm still in his, education group, and I'm still watching his Zooms and his things, even though I know how to edit. I love to edit.
Yeah.
Like, I know all of the things. It's still so interesting to see, you know, how other people do things. And it's like, oh, wow, I should try to do that and see if it makes my workflow easier, if it minimizes what I'm doing, if it's making it just my entire life easier. And I think it's really important that we learn, like at least as creatives, we learn from other people, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I hope that at least maybe somebody gets to walk away from listening to this and be like, wow, I should try that. Or wow, I feel similar, and I'm not alone in this capacity of feeling, under an enormous amount of pressure to be able to handle every single thing that we have to handle as creatives, because we've talked about so much today, but like there's even more on the
Oh, I know.
business aspect of it. I mean, like we could go on.
Oh, we
We
barely
literally
even touched
could
the
go.
surface.
We haven't even made like a little scratch. Like
I mean,
this
it's
is
just the
just a
surface, huh?
speck. This is just a
Yeah,
speck on the glass.
literally.
I mean, it's like there's just so many. I think we as humans, we contain multitudes. And so our business contains multitudes. And I think that if I said this in my first episode, which was about myself, my introduction one, And it's kind of my motto, but it's of course it's not coming to me now because that's just like, like
Right.
the actual
Same.
at the door. Being teachable makes you unstoppable because if you're not willing to learn, you're not willing to grow. And
It's
I
so
think
true.
just as people and as, creatives and business owners, we have to be open-minded and adaptable to learning new things from other people. And
Yeah.
I just think that's really important. And I also think it's really important to build community within your photographer friends because when I knew I wanted to start a
Community. Yes.
podcast, I was like, Courtney, I was like, I'm texting her right now. I was like, I just know an episode with her would be so
Yes.
so good. I mean,
I
and I
know.
just want you guys to know that we talked on our little FaceTime. We talked for a whole hour before we even started filming.
And we were like, wait, we've been talking for
Maybe
so long.
we haven't even talked. We weren't even talking about photography.
No, it was everything but. It was personal. It was everything. I'm like, wow, like, and
We had to go catch up.
we still could talk for 6 more hours. Like, there's so
We
much. There's so
we
much.
literally could, and like that's why we both. If you're watching, we have our little pen mics. Our little pen mics.
I love it.
I just think that there's also an importance of community and being
Yeah,
able to
100%.
know like when I had an idea about a bike shoot, I knew we weren't super. I think we had maybe like texted a few times over Instagram, but we
Yeah.
weren't like super close.
Yeah.
And I had seen your Instagram post of the motorcycle shoot that you did with Tanner.
Yeah.
From years ago now. And I was like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do a motorcycle shoot. But like, you have to find a couple who's like down to be on a motorcycle, but also
Correct.
fits the motorcycle vibe because not everybody can just stand in front of a motorcycle and look hot. Like, that's just not,
Yeah.
And so you had shared those and I had seen them and I hadn't realized that they were old. I think it was like one of your pinned posts, maybe like You're About Me.
Mm-hmm.
And we had been texting a little bit. And that was when I was like, I should ask her if they'd be down. And then you were like, we don't have them anymore.
No.
And I made it happen and
You did.
I found one.
And
I made it happen.
And it's like an old vintage yellow Ducati. Oh my gosh. And me and Tanner were like, oh,
Chef's
we were
kiss.
like, everyone was like, you got an old like yellow Ducati. I'm like, no, it's not mine.
No, it's not mine. Unfortunately, it's not mine. But like, I knew that you would be down for it. I knew that I wanted to shoot with you at some point, even if it was just to be able to build a relationship with you and have another friend who's a photographer, because I think that that's so important to have people that your
community is huge.
Yes, it really is. And knowing that like even from you, it led into sort of ish. I mean, we started talking organically, but I became really close with Alex. Shout out Alex again if you're listening, because I love you. Alex Wolf on Instagram. Alex Wolf Photography on Instagram for anybody who's listening.
Photography, go follow her right now.
Love my girl Alex. And we started talking randomly. I don't even know how. And I knew she was friends with you. And I was like, now we talk all the time. And we just did a shoot together. And it was so insane.
Cute. Oh my gosh. It was adorable.
They were so cute. And so it's like, now, and then when we left, Alex was like, me, you, and Courtney, we need to get together and have like a girls' day, a little shoot together, plan a little something. I mean, and I was like, we so need to. We need to shoot together, because I also think it's so fun shooting. And I know you guys have gone to content days together and whatnot. And I think that is just so fun. I'm not gonna like launch into it, but like content days are not something that I particularly care for.
Now that I've done them, I'm kind of over it.
But I do think that there's a level of planning those creative shoots with your people and with your friends to be able to collaborate on that and be like the vintage setup that you just did, that with a couple.
Oh, I know. That would be insane. We need to come up with something and do like a little photography day where we just like do random concepts we want to do all together. We should totally do that. I mean, our mini content day with just us.
It's our little Three Musketeer content day.
Yes, we need to do that.
Because I think that if we put all of our powers together, all of our little creative juices, and we mix them together, we could create something that's awesome. And I think that is why community is really important. So you can, be inspired by your friends and be able to be like,
Yeah.
hey, how much is your liability insurance that you pay a month? Because I think mine's astronomical. That's been a conversation. I
No,
texted
really.
Courtney one day and I was like, hey, what do you pay for liability insurance? Because I think mine's really expensive. And she was
No, really
like,
though.
but you don't know what you don't know. And so having
You
people that
don't.
you can go to and be like, hey, I have a couple and I can't do their session. Like, do you want me to recommend you to them? I mean, having people that you can be like, here's a photographer that you can go to if you need, like, since I can't do this, here's some other options. And I
Yeah.
always want that to be people who I know and love and trust that I'm sending you to, because I would never send somebody to a client that I don't think, like, just send them to somebody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
you want to be like, I love my girl Courtney, I love my girl Alex, I love Brianna, I love these people. They're going to take great care of you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
but you have to build that community so you
Exactly.
have your friends.
Yeah.
And now we're on a podcast. And
Now we're on a
now we're on
podcast.
a podcast and I think about our bike session
I
quite
know.
frequently.
I do
And it
too. I need to
just
print them actually on my walls. I have so much extra space that I want to fill them. So I'm gonna
fill
go
it fill them with
now
our bike shoot. That
fill them with
shoot
the
was
bike too.
just, you guys
It
have
was
to go see it. It was
Yeah, go look
insane.
on Sophie's account. It's so insane. Oh my gosh, it's so
It
beautiful.
just
I still look at them every day. They're on my lock screen actually.
Are they really?
Yeah, you can't really see, but yeah, you can, I guess.
I love, you know what? Courtney, you know what the biggest compliment was? When Courtney
What?
came to me and she told me that Tanner made one his lock screen.
He did.
You know how
And
important that is.
it's his profile picture if I'm not
Is
wrong.
it his profile picture?
I think. And he's like
Highest praise.
yeah, he's like so go with the flow with things, but he's also just like, don't care, babe, whatever you want to do. And so like for him to do yeah, it's his profile picture. That's
Highest praise right there. Highest praise.
He
I
loved those
mean,
photos because it also felt like him too. Like he loves motorcycles,
absolutely.
old vintage cars. So that felt like him, which he really appreciated too. Like it wasn't just like a random shoot I made him do with me. Like he like loved that.
Absolutely. I think that there's a level for guys also where, the girl has such an idea and an expectation of what they want their shoot to be, that it's really important that this is also for the guy too. This is for them
Absolutely.
as a couple, and you want both of them to like it and have enough variety, have those fun, silly, playful ones for your girls who love the more whimsical vibe, but you
Yes.
maybe have the more serious vibes, the more, like the smolder, like the things where it's like, oh, those are the ones that he's gonna want to post to because
Yeah.
he feels
He
cool
feels
in them.
badass. Yeah.
You want your girl to feel beautiful, but you also want your guy to feel cool, and you want
Yeah.
him to feel, you want to know that he's comfortable, because no guy likes getting his photo taken. That's
No.
not fun.
Every guy
That's
hates
not
it.
fun for It's not fun for anybody. But like,
No.
it's high praise when a guy leaves a session and they're like, this was so much more fun than I thought
know.
it was going
That's
to
the
be.
best compliment because then you know you did your job.
You know that you really did your job. Like when you told
Yeah.
me that Tanner, you had sent me a screenshot of your conversation actually, and he said something about how much he loved them. I was like,
I
highest praise right there. I mean,
It is.
because it
Because a
really
lot of
is.
times guys hate taking pictures. So if they enjoy themselves and like the pictures, that's how you know you did your thing. You did your
That's how you
big
know.
one.
That's how you know you did it. That's how you know that you ate.
You ate.
And I don't know. I think that it's really, there's so many aspects to being a photographer that are so important, and so little
Yeah.
things like that, clients being super appreciative and grateful and posting them, really makes a big difference, because you feel like you've done a good job and you've done the job well. And that's
Yeah.
all you can ask for, really, because at the end of the day, as much as I love taking photos, the photos are for them. And so
Yeah.
as long as they're happy and they feel comfortable and confident and beautiful and they've left with a good experience, then
Yeah.
I've done all I could ask for as a
Exactly.
photographer, and just as a human being also, because, I would never want somebody to leave a session and be like, I hate her.
Yeah.
Like, I hate
That
her.
sucks.
She was terrible.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
stinks.
like, you want people to be like, I love you and I want to keep coming back to you for like just so many years and
Yeah.
years and years. So
100%.
I am so grateful that you are on here today and we got to have
Aw.
a big little chitty chat.
Yeah, no, thank
And
you.
I love you, and
Aw.
we need to shoot together sometime soon.
Yeah, we do. I love you too.
So I love you more. So I think that's where we'll wrap up here because if you've lasted this long, anybody
Yeah.
listening,
We love you. Thank you so much.
we love you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to us ramble for an hour and a half.
God.
Um, I can't wait for all that's to come with this podcast. And, Courtney, maybe you'll become my little co-host
Oh
and
my gosh,
we
I'd
can
love that.
we can
How
do little
fun.
we can do little Q&As, little hot takes,
Yes.
little
Oh my gosh, that'd be so
another
fun.
another little hour and a half
I know. And
podcast.
we can even get on personal topics too.
Totally, exactly. The options are endless. So
You know.
thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Tune in for next week's episode. That one's going to be super fun also. I have a really exciting guest lined up for that.
Ooh,
Um,
yay.
and if there's anything that you guys want us to touch on, me to touch on, guess you want on, give me all the details. I'm all ears. I'm so excited. So this was Real Talk with Soph, and I'm so excited that you guys are here, and thanks for watching.
Bye.